back to Sixes and Seven round 21 preview. I know our listeners and viewers are very scared and worried about where the boys have been. Well, I'll lay it bare. I've been a single dad at the moment. My missus is gallivanting around in England, seeing family. So I've been not struggling with my boy, but he's been very clingy, and it's been very difficult to get on. So we missed, obviously, our review last week, round 20 review, which we'll touch on bits and pieces during our preview today, but we are here to talk about round 21 preview. But we did drop a banger for you during the week because of us missing the show, and that was the great Kevy Walters. And they say timing is great, and the timing was perfect, actually, because later that afternoon we dropped it. Kevy was announced the Australian coach. Yes, it was pre-recorded. And as we mentioned at the start of the podcast, when we've got our special guests, they are pre-recorded. Obviously, we knew our great mate was going back to France many months ago. So we've got as many people we can get in front of us. Obviously, as you know, that's more to come with those guests moving forward. When Mitch is back in Australia, we'll do plenty more, and we're doing one-on-ones ourselves. So lots still to come, but sorry about the delay for this one. Lots happening, and obviously just got to juggle it in between. But we are here today to talk about round 21 preview. How's me little mate?
Good, brother. Good to see you. I missed our Monday show. It's the highlight of my week.
So it is.
It was disappointing. We couldn't get that review. It was a great round of footy as well. Tigers getting a win. Canberra again. Your Canberra Raiders on top. Roosters in an upset loss. So there was plenty of good footy last week. But yeah, here to talk about this weekend's games. And the Kevy Walters interview was great. We were in awe, weren't we, when we did it? I remember when we got the message that Kevy was keen to sit with us. I suppose all of them were pretty pumped about all the interviews we did. And the next one coming even more than any of them, which will be out in the next month or so. But yeah, Kevy, it was just great to sit down and speak to a legend. You know, 6-time premiership winner, done it all in the game as a player, and then, you know, coached Queensland to all those series wins, or a few of them, and just an absolute legend. So we appreciated it, Kevy, and congratulations on the Australian jersey. And maybe you ever get an NRL gig, remember, me and Toddy as your attacking coaches, brother.
That'd be nice. There's lots to obviously talk about. Obviously, I retired many moons ago, Mitch, and you only sort of put the boots up a couple of years ago. But they're talking about that R360, the Rebel Rugby, over in Saudi Arabia. It's been spoken about for a long time. I know when it was probably 5 years ago, I nearly went to America to play, not for the Brooklyn Kings, where I was going to go this year, to another team. And there was talk that there was going to be some big hitters in that sort of area, trying to bring out some sort of breakaway rugby league competitions. But obviously this is rugby, and there's talked about players getting targeted. Obviously the likes of our best would be the ones targeted. If you had your time, not if you had your time again, because as we said, those ships have sailed. Would it entice you at the back end of your career, do you reckon? Or is it just one of those things that is sort of smoke and mirrors?
I reckon it enticed me more now. Just the way the game is now, it's sort of a bit more flexible, isn't it? You know, like players jump from clubs to clubs more now. It's just a full-time business. You know, the whole stick to one club and that type of stuff is not really as relevant now, is it? So, yeah, I reckon it would. Back into my career, obviously I chose to come to France and play over here, which was a change of country and change of leagues, Super League to NRL. But yeah, I reckon I would be open to it for sure. I'd never played rugby union really. I played 1 year of it as a kid, but I don't know how that would go, if I would be enticed to play rugby union. But I'm hearing there's no tax there. Well, there's no tax in Dubai, or minimal tax. So unless if the rugby league's the same, or rugby union competition's the same as the lifestyle there and jobs, no tax on 2 mil. Fucking let's go.
Yeah, but
it's enticing though.
It is enticing, but the players that they're saying, obviously Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's probably, the days of making $1 million in the NRL are probably gone. because he's a back end. But blokes like Ryan Papenhuyzen and Kalen Ponga, they probably still deserve or they'll demand that one. Well, Kalen's on 1.4 now. If Papenhuyzen was to come to the market tomorrow, I'm sure he would push that high end 1-1, 1-2. So it's obviously you got to pack up, leave. There's a lot to obviously weigh up, but for me, I think it's cool for a lot of the younger kids. Obviously, blokes that are not quite making it, because obviously they've got to find players from somewhere. So they're going to have not below first graders, but kids that are. So it's exciting for some people that never thought they'd have an opportunity to make big money, because I'm sure, like you look at the American competition, I know Matt Giddo went over for 4 or 5 years post his career over in France, and that's still going. So it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, these blokes have got more money than sense, and they just want to see it unfold. So it'd be interesting. It's one of those things. I don't think NRL should be too worried about it. A lot of the players they're talking about are already locked up. And obviously on the back of that, we can talk about KP coming out last week. And I thought it was pretty cool of him, the way he handled it, just to come out to put a post up saying that he's staying till 27. It puts him in a position to not stuck. You're not stuck, but it shows that he's loyal and he's going to stay at Newcastle. So I thought it was very cool from KP. He didn't do it through the media, done it through his own platform. And I thought it got a really good response. So well done, KP, to come out and do that, because as a rugby league fan, then obviously as someone that we talk about Tigers being everyone's second best team, but you want to see Knights do well. And with KP there, that's obviously could be on the horizon.
Yeah, I think especially as captain there too, it's probably smart move from KP to come out pretty fast and nip it in the butt. Obviously, yeah, you're the leader of the club there, so it was probably quick that he acted fast for all reasons, especially as that leader and the heartbeat there. And obviously it's going to be comfort for the club knowing that he's still there. Obviously Dylan Brown next year, all their plans is built around Dylan Brown and KP to lead them into a premiership over the next couple of years, or as high up the ladder as they can get. So great news all around. Just on that Saudi team, you spoke about recruiting younger players or reserve grade. Is it not an elite competition? Like, they're not going for the best of the best? Is it just...
Oh, of course they will, but they're not going to be able to get the best of the best. If they've got to build... Obviously, I don't even know how many teams are going to be in the competition. I haven't looked too much in it. All I've looked at the price tag. So I thought about putting my boots back on, sending a highlights reel of me hot stepping in the backyard, throwing long balls, kicking goals. If they need someone, I'm coming on 40, but who knows? But no, obviously it will be an elite competition, but it's one of those things that how do you get the elite of the elite out of their contracts, and unless you're offering them $2 million? I believe it would take more. So it depends how much money these blokes have.
From the info I have here, it could feature 8 men's teams and held over 2 windows, April to June, then August to September.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only a short comp. Fuck.
For good money.
That's outstanding. Well, it'll be interesting to see if NRL allow it as well, because
they won't allow it. No way.
They won't allow it, so it's not going to happen.
Way.
So there's not, unless players. So
unless players don't
play, just don't play all year, and then just play that, and then
they'd
go on
play
holidays
the
rest of the year.
competitions.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot for more to happen.
If you're an older player, as you said, and you're getting shorter amount of games, and you get to go over there on huge money, it's a no-brainer. Like you said, they'll 100%, if it comes on board, there'll be guys going into their 30s that are over NRL would be there tomorrow, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. I think it'd be crazy for some players not to, but it'd be interesting to see. One thing I want to talk to you about, Mitch, is a great mate, Horror, over at Levels, brought this up yesterday, and I've brought it up to you before in one of our shows when we've been previewing Newcastle. He's brought up yesterday that Fletcher Sharp should stay at 1. Obviously, Dylan Brown comes in at 6. And they should appoint Joey to do as much as he can to help KP be a 7. And you've played with KP. Do you think he's got... No. Do you reckon he can play 7?
I didn't see Hoz's thing. I have to go and have a look. I should have done my homework before the show. I actually didn't see it.
No,
what
there's
Hoz
no
said.
homework. I just thought I'd bring it up because I only seen it last night too.
Yeah, what was it exactly that
He
KP
just
should go
said
to
that
halfback?
KP should look at moving KP to maybe 7 instead of trying to turn Fletcher Sharp into a 6 because he's more of a 1 instead of turning Dylan Brown into a 7, which Parramatta have tried. Instead of trying that, he sees more merit in trying to teach Kalen Ponga to be a 7.
Nah, I don't agree with Hoz with that at all. As you asked me, I've played with KP. We've tried KP at 6 before. You know, they've tried a KP as a 5'8". That extra defensive load wasn't that effective for him. And, I mean, he's going to play well wherever. He's a great footballer, but we've seen him at 6. He hasn't got the same space and room, and he's trying to create space for everyone else where he's better off playing off other players. You know, that's why he's so brilliant with open space. We only went into detail recently about getting him on big fours and big space around him where he can use his goose step and burn defenders. And if he's playing in and around as a halfback, your whole role's to think more and control the game, do all the kicking, and then create space for everyone else. I just think it goes against everything that he's about. But I think what Hoz is probably trying to get at as well, which has got some merit to it, is that there's no out-and-out 7 there. So who's going to take the reins? But I think you nailed it. It's Joey Johns. Get Joey up there and a good coach that can get the best out of that dynamics, however it looks. It's going to be unorthodox for sure. And they're going to have to come up with a certain style that suits the three of them. So who's the organiser? I don't know. The 9. Who's their 9 next year? Because Jaden Brayley's moved on. Who's it? Oh, Felix Crossland? Is he predicted to start at 9?
Did they sign?
I'll look into it, but I would assume Crossland still.
I think the best thing that they can do, if I was Newcastle, would be buy the best lock in the game. With the players that they got, they need a fucking mad 13, like a Yowie, that can just orchestrate everything. I reckon that's the best thing they can do. Because if you think about it, Jaden Brayley moves on. Jaden hasn't played a whole lot of footy in Phoenix. Love Phoenix, great kid, good footballer. He's played a heap of footy at 9 now, but you wouldn't say he's the most, creative, manipulative 9 in the game. He's more of a tough sort of player and got a bit of speed, where I reckon a 13 for him. They need a really good 13. But it's also great news, I think, for Newcastle, as we said earlier, that KP's stuck it out. And I'm excited to see how Dylan Brown goes up there. There's obviously a lot of talk about him. Can he play 7? Can he play 6? It's a good storyline, and who knows? It might work for Newcastle. It's everything they've wanted and needed. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I'm sure they'll work it out. I think they've got a lot more to give, but also there's a lot more to sort of grow for Newcastle. I don't think it's just the issues around their 6, 7, 9 and 1. I think they need to fill a few other positions. It just seems that they don't get it right in big games or most games at the moment. So it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, I don't believe the coach was going to change too much if they do get rid of Adam O'Brien, but the coaches are under pressure at the moment. There's plenty of them in the NRL at the moment, so it'd be interesting to see how the domino effect unfolds. They talk that Desi will finish at the end of this weekend after his 500th game, but I think the Titans should just, if there's no one else available, not no one else available, I think, I don't know, who knows. It's an interesting one for the coaches.
Willie Peters, if Desi moves on, Willie Peters, get him in there.
There hasn't been a lot of talk about Willie. There's obviously been a lot of push for the Walker brothers. But I'm sure Braith Willies Peters' manager would be doing some talks in the background, and I'm sure there'd be lots of talks going in the background. But we are here to talk about round 21 preview. And as we've seen of last week, when the preview starts, our producer Gabe steps up and takes the reins.
All right, boys. Game 1 of the NRL round 21 this week. We've got two teams coming off a loss. The Roosters, obviously, and the Storm, who just got pipped last week against the Sea Eagles. The ins and outs this week. Roosters have brought in Sandon Smith and Sua Wong. Outs, Billy Smith, Chatty Townsend, Victor Radley. So Sam Walker and Sandon in the halves. And then with the Storm, Cam Munster just taking some time away after everything with his dad. And then Big Nelson missing 2 games. How do you see this one playing out, boys?
Ooh. I'm going to go Is Pappenhausen back?
No, Pappenhausen is still out. Nick Meaney playing 1.
I'm going to say the Roosters.
Oh, tipping an upset.
Wow. No Munster.
What? Why, Toddy? Tell us why, mate.
I just think, obviously, Munster's a big out. Them getting beat by Manly last week. I think Roosters have probably got more to play for. A loss to the Roosters this weekend doesn't cancel them out of playing finals because there's still lots of footy to be played, but the 8 will get away on them if other teams win. So it's an important win for the Roosters. They need to win. I think Robbo will have them up. It's at home. I just don't think Melbourne's been great in some patches. Obviously, we speak about them a lot. We speak glowingly about them. They've put some really big scores on teams. But I think the Roosters will have more to play for, and I think with Big Nelson out and Munster, I think the Roosters can get the job done.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Melbourne. I still think Melbourne. I think it was Melbourne's first loss in 2 months last week. They don't lose back to back very often, especially when they're on top of the ladder, which is nearly every year. I just think they'll be too good for the Roosters in the arm wrestle. I think Sandon Smith's a good in for the Roosters, but I think with Hugo Savala out, it's still a big loss. Obviously, he's a young kid. He's come in this year and no one had too many expectations. He's been outstanding, and his long kicking game gives them a real edge. I reckon a lot of their wins have come off his kicking game. So without him there, you're not going to get that length of kick. Walks probably takes the more of the kicking role when Sandon Smith's there, and I just think they miss Hugo's kicking game. And against a Melbourne team, if you don't have a long kicking game and be able to win the forcings back, even without Munster and Nelson, they slowly find their way over the line. And their defence is top shelf. So I think Melbourne. What do you think of Nelson's elbow last week? Seen the same thing in the Origin.
Yeah.
So what do you do there as a player? I know you can't.
Let's not talk about the rest of the Origin.
No.
The rest last week.
We don't want to.
There's people
we don't
watching.
Cause any innuendo.
There's people
Who's
watching.
So do you see Hugo as the starting 6, do you, Mitch?
Next year, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a starting 6? No, to be honest, that's a very good question because obviously Cherry Evans just got announced he's going.
If he ends up there, yeah.
No, I don't think he will be playing because it'll be Walker, and they're not going to not play Walks. Walks is, regardless of what money he's on about $1 million. So, and he's one of the best halves in the game. So, they're not going to not play Walks and Cherry Evans. It's a good argument though. I suppose this is what all the Roosters fans or the club was probably maybe potentially scratching their head a little bit. I mean, it's Cherry Evans. Regardless of what people say or that Ches is a bit older and he's out of form, it's daily Cherry Evans. He's going to have a huge impact, I think. But it's an argument for people to talk about for sure until the proof's in the pudding, whether it works or it doesn't work. And they're lucky they got Hugo there, that he's going to stay. Obviously, Sandon's decided to move on with a new opportunity because there wasn't a place for him with Cherry there, so they've lost him. But yeah, I'm not sure if Hugo plays next year. Starting anyway, I can't see him in the team with Cherry and Walks. Unless he plays that utility off the bench, that lock role. He's a big body.
Yeah.
It might be that extra, especially with Victor Radley's head concussion, the concussion stuff lurking, and he might not, hopefully he does, but might not play as much footy, so maybe Hugo will cover those roles for him. He'll be in the squad somewhere. Like we said, he's been outstanding.
Next game, Friday night, is the Cowboys versus the Dragons at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. The ins for the Cowboys, you got John Bateman back. You got Thomas Duffy back. Outs, Murray Tungalangi and Thomas Mikaeli'i, maybe. Sorry for butchering your name, mate. Jackson Purdue and Zach Labour in the centres. And then for the Dragons, out Sion Fanu. And that's basically... and in comes Matthew Fagai in the centres there too.
This is a tough game to pick.
I agree.
Because on their day, I think Dragons win. But up there in Queensland, same again, Cowboys need to win a game. They need to win to play finals. Both teams are fighting for them around that bottom 8 spot. It's hard. I'm going to go Cowboys. Cowboys because it's up in Queensland.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cowboys too. I just reckon they'll bounce back. They've been all right at that. When they're on, they're on.
Yeah.
But their defence has been so bad. What are they ranked in defence, Gabe, this year? They'll have to be bottom 3.
I'll have
Defence,
for you, mate. Yeah.
amount of points they've leagued. But, I mean, yeah, I reckon they'll be too good for Dragons up there, like Toddy said. In Queensland, still got great spine.
I think it'll be a close game of footy because they'll both throw the kitchen sink at each other. Obviously, both their fullbacks, probably Gutho's been more consistent as the way he's playing at the Dragons, but for Drinky, when he's on, he's on. They win games of footy. And I think when he's on, Dearden's on. Obviously, Duffy's now taken the number 6 spot. Cliffo's been pushed out again. So it'll be interesting to see how Duffy goes. Who will take the control because Duffy's more of a controlling half. But I think just because it's in Queensland, that's purely why I think Cowboys, and I think they're due for a show.
So with the defensive ranking, boys, the Dragons come in at 13th amongst the teams, and then average points conceded by the Cowboys, they're at the bottom. Cowboys are the worst.
Yeah, they got
worse
pumped.
than conceding points.
They got pumped heaps early at the start of the year.
Oh, they were leaking about 130 points in 3 games from memory, eh?
Yeah.
And then they had that same little period a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
They've been horrible. Wonder what it is. Because the teams, man for man on their outside backs and even their halves, Dearden's one of the best halfback defenders in the comp. And their outside backs are quality. So it's a strange thing that they're that poor. Their forwards as well, like, you got a pretty decent pack. It's a strange that they're that low down. You can understand or give a bit of leeway to Titans and Tigers. You're going to give them leeway, but you can look at them and you can see vulnerability. But with the Cowboys, on their starting pack, I don't see much vulnerability. So it's strange.
I could have my blinders on after the State of Origin, obviously, but I see the Cowboys playing and I see Tom Dearden at halfback and I go, well, how are they going to keep losing games? Because you know what potential he has. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but all great halfbacks need a forward pack and momentum, go forward, and all the dunks and drakes to fall in place for you. And on that night at Origin, that's what happened for Tommy Dearden, and he was on the heels of the catalyst of that. So unless he can, and I'm hoping he'll fire because they've both picked the Cowboys, but I think it can go either way. So we could get egg in our face here either way.
Broncos versus the Eels at Suncorp.
This is my cheddar of the week.
Oh, you got cheddar this week. Cool. I'm just checking something here.
No, I don't.
Reserves. It was saying Colbo was going in, so I didn't think that'd be right. Payne Haas is playing. Jeffy Arces is playing.
Ooh.
Corey Jensen's playing. They've got Dylan Brown back in. Nah, that's just on the reserves.
Moses is
Mitchy
back.
Mitchy Moses returns, and Isaiah Iongi is out. Josh Papali'i to fullback.
Brisbane for me, and Brisbane by plenty.
Even with Mitch Moses back.
Yeah. By plenty.
I'm excited. I agree. I think Broncos will win, but I'm excited to see how Para go with Mitch Moses. When he first come back last game after the injury, He was unbelievable. And I think he's a 20-point difference for them. So Broncos find themselves a bit vulnerable, a little bit off, as we've seen at times this year. Obviously, the last 4 or 5 weeks they've been outstanding. They're 4 in a row, aren't they? 4 or 5 in a row?
4 or 5
Broncos.
in a row, yeah.
They're in red hot form, but if they're a little bit off, a Mitch Moses in form can pull their pants down, I reckon. But I think Broncos will be too good. Eyeing off the finish line. Top
Where do
4
the points
finish
come from,
potentially.
do you think, boys?
For
For the Broncos, points come for the Broncos in their 6, 7, 9, 1, 14. Front rowers. Their points are coming for everywhere at the moment. I think the way the interchange with Billy Walters coming off the bench, he's scoring points when he comes on, opening the game up. The way Ezra's playing on the left side, obviously Renault's the orchestra, and then Reece Walsh is he's not doing the superstar things and the outlandish things he always does, but he's consistent. He's coming up with plays when he needs to. They're not relying on him to score points or win games. They're doing it through their whole team. Obviously, their forward pack's elite with Peyton Hassan, Pat Carrigan, Pia Cora, Xavier Willis, and they're a good team, the Broncos, and we've spoken about it from the start of the year. They're a top 4 team, and they're starting to show that. They're pushing their way up there. I think they're a threat at the back end of the year. If they can all fire on all cylinders at the back end of the season with a home semi in Brisbane, they're a dangerous threat for the competition with where it's at the moment.
What would
On
Moses
paper.
need to do to, I guess, tear the Broncos apart? Are we looking at corners? Or do we need to see his running game? What are we thinking? Obviously, it all comes off the back of Moses. Like you said, Mitch, I fully agree. He does make a 20-point difference. We saw it when he returned last time.
We freeze all the rest of them up, as you said. The whole spine looks quicker and faster, and all the back rowers get more involved when Mitch is there. I think we spoke about it when he came back last game, before he went into Origin for the first game, or a couple of games before that, and he just played the full field. He just opened up everyone else's role, and they just looked like a completely different team. That brought on, who's my man at lock? They come on sometimes, play the little short side.
Walker.
Dylan Walker, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
It opens his game up. You know, he plays that short passing game through the middle, and then it allows everyone else just to free up. So, yeah, I'm excited to watch this game, because if anyone can pull their pants down, it's Mitch. I reckon he'll be just buzzing like he did last time. He come out of the blocks like he was running the Olympic Games. That pump, sweat coming off in water, pumping the air. I can't wait to watch him, bringing all his team on the back of him, and he'll create tries off kicks, and he'll create tries with his support play and his speed. Bring everyone else into the game. They're flat. They're looking for a leader, and it'll be him. And that's a worry for Broncos.
So you see Paris scoring tries. Do you see Paris scoring tries, Toddy? Because I know you said they'll flog him. Do you see him getting on the board?
No, they'll get on the board. Like, I just think Broncos win. They'll win easy, but I think, as Mitch said, Moses is a massive in, because he'll free up everyone, the confidence, the belief they'll have from Mitchell Moses being in the circle before they go out to kick off. It brings that confidence. I just think where the Broncos are at the moment, they've found their mojo. They've won 4 or 5 in the trot. They're going pretty good. And I just don't think with Yongi out, they're missing. They won't match it against the Broncos, I think, up here in Brisbane. I could be wrong, but they're my cheddar of the week.
Not a bad cheddar there. Is that a conservative cheddar, you think? Or is it a risk-taking cheddar?
Well, the way you're talking, it's a risk-taking cheddar, yeah.
It's a risk-taking cheddar. Yeah.
Well, the way you're talking.
I beg to differ. But I'm not going to...
Well, you just spoke glowing for about 15 minutes about Parramatta, and you beg to differ.
No, I spoke glowing about Mitch Moses, but I don't want to poke the bear today. The bear's angry. So we'll massage the bear's back.
It's been a long week and a half.
She's sleeping. The sleep's not good, brother, is it? Don't tell me this. I'm about to have a baby.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. We'll see how you go on the podcast.
This game on Saturday, Go Media Stadium. The Warriors, off the back of a win a gritty win.
Oh, wow.
Versus the Titans.
Haliasima.
Yeah,
Wow.
good. Charles Nickel-Klokstad back in for the Warriors, and Tino Doueihi still out for the Titans.
I think the Warriors. This is my chat. Other Warriors.
Here he is. Here he is. Far. Oh.
He's
Risk taking, are you?
He's a risk taker.
No, I never said I wasn't going to be a risk taker. Conservative. I never said I was.
You have a dig at me. You have a dig at me.
I asked what your motive was. Was it a risk taking or a conservative? I never said that I'm not going to be conservative.
Yeah.
Oh, and has he said who he picked yet? He's picking the Titans, isn't he?
No, I'm picking Warriors.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm picking Haliasima. My man, Haliasima. Try of the week, 2 tries in a row, 2 of the best tries of the year. That's
He's
a big call, but there, put that out there. Short side carry when he's just gone in and away with half a metre space, fended off whoever it was the week before and scores, and then last week, it wasn't only just the anticipation and speed, but the in and away on the fullback. That's not easy to do for a 110 kilo.
Nah, he's lethal.
He's unbelievable. So, but I think Warriors can have a field day this week. They've been knocking teams a lot better than the Titans off all year, and in all respect to the Titans, can't see where anything's going to come for them.
Yeah, but it's a massive loss. Tino out, obviously for feeders out. I just think, I think the Warriors will just have too much joy rolling up the middle of the park, and then welcome Chance Nickel-Klokstad, Tanner Boyd, Vita Harris. They'll just have a field day at the back. They'll be too loose through the middle. I think the Warriors will roll through them. I think the Titans will put up a fight like they always do. But I just don't see them pulling any punches in this game.
Boys, do you think the Titans will be needing to move the ball early if they're a shot at winning this game?
I think if they go in the mentality the way they played against Manly here 4 or 5 weeks ago when they pulled Manly's pants down, they need to just play footy. They need to let the shackles come off, just let it go, because they're playing for, obviously, to get off the bottom of the ladder, to try and avoid the wooden spoon, but they just need to go out and pretty much have fun.
That's probably the way to do it, eh? Like you said.
Yeah.
How would you
enjoy the back
Toddy?
end?
So hard to do, though, isn't it, when you're it's so easy from an outsider looking in to be like, go and have fun and just let the shackles off. But when you're in the vortex...
Yeah, it's tough.
It's fun. No, but it's a good conversation, because we, as halves, when you retire, when you talk about watching games back, you watch your highlights back and different things. You can tell when you watch back without even remembering what was going on that week, because usually there's a response emotionally, isn't there? As a player, and then when you're in that rut and everything's just so negative, and from the outside, people are like, "Oh, just go out and throw the ball around." It's fucking hard as a player to just dump things that all the shit's going on.
It's hard to throw the ball around when
it's a good conversation.
It's so fair.
It's so hard to throw the ball around when
you're carrying so much weight.
And the games you've won or the games you've lost this year, and you just go out and throw the ball around. Well, that's the catalyst of us. We've tried to do that and we've come up with errors, or we can't do it because we don't have momentum. We don't have the play the ball speed to throw the footy around. We're on the back foot the whole time. So if we throw the footy out our backsides, we get bum rushed back to our other end of the field or out over the sideline, or we make errors, and then it capitulates, and then the other team gets the ball and scores points on us. And then all of a sudden, we're just trying to keep our head above water because we've tried to play footy and let the shackles off, but it hasn't worked. And then all of a sudden, another team just gets all the momentum, and the game's done. See you later, bye.
Yeah, it's a hard situation, isn't it?
It's like a lose, really, isn't it?
You literally just have to have a couple of things go your way, or an energy shift at training. But it's fucking hard when the coach is under the pump.
The thing
and all
is,
the senior players have got no confidence.
When you say it's a lose-lose, it's how they work out what they done against Manly, because I'm sure they would have said, let's go out and ambush them and so they probably went into it thinking, oh, we're optimistic against Manly. They're going out and pulled their pants down the first 15 minutes, and all of a sudden they get the momentum and they can play some footy. If they can get that, so you got to earn the right straight away at first. So you got to do something that first 15 minutes is going to blow Warriors off the park, and then once you've done that, it's then capitalise on it. But if you don't do it, if you do it and then not capitalise, I can hold on.
Our next game on Saturday at CommBank Stadium, we got the Panthers coming up against the West Tigers, who are also coming off a messy win, but a win nonetheless. Ins for the Panthers, the big dogs return. Isaiah Yeo, Nathan Cleary, Liam Martin, Isaac Tungo.
Wow.
I got a suspicion I know what he's going to say, but what do you reckon, boys?
Yeah, Penrith. Yeah. I think Penrith win. I think Tigers put up a fight again. I think it's always that battle of the West coming up against each other. They'll be there. Jerome Luai against his old club, Taruva against his old club, May against his old club. So they'll be all fired up, ready to play. I think, but once the huff and puff comes out of it, the Panthers will get to work and get on with it. But I think early it would be a tit-for-tat game of footy. I reckon Tigers will strike first, but then Penrith will obviously have the joy back end of the game.
Yeah, I agree with Toddy. I think Penrith will be too good. They've got a good run home, don't they, Penrith?
Yeah.
The next few weeks. It's a big win for them this week. I just can't see them losing. With what's at stake for them, how high they can finish on the ladder. As Toddy said, I thought the May boys were good last week. Taylor May got a try and set up 2 on that left edge. He's a great addition. He'll be good for them. Doueihi last week was outstanding again. So is there some footy in the Tigers? Last couple of weeks have been better. But yeah, Penrith are just a different machine. And I'm excited. Like I said, I was excited to watch a couple of these other teams this week. I'm excited to watch Penrith the next month. I want to watch them closely. Watch the champions in action.
What are your thoughts on Doueihi? There's a lot of talk, speculation that he's talking to Para, talking to the Dragons. If he was to go to the Dragons, where's he play?
I love Doueihi. I reckon he's a gun. I don't really understand. I saw you just see things pop up and different offers that he's getting. I can't believe the money he's on. How little it is for how good he is, or what he brings to a squad. Like he's not an overnight sensation or a rookie. He'd be close to 6-7 year career now.
Yeah.
But at South Tigers, I remember memories of the Tigers him playing at six centre or fullback. He's been dominant. Like I've seen him score doubles on several occasions, and on the weekend again he gets the field goal. He played at lock. I think he'd be a great pickup to any club. And looks to me that the offer that they re-offered him, it's not huge money. So that the interest to keep him doesn't seem crazy. But with the limited halves that they got as well, with Galvin obviously going, I'd feel it's a no-brainer keeping Doueihi.
But to answer Toddy's question, where do you think he'd play at the Dragons?
5'8".
Yeah? Slide straight in there?
Yeah.
I heard a rumour, boys, that the Panthers are looking at him. Do you think that's a weird option?
No, I think it's another good one. I think he'd be great at 6 there as well with Cleary. I think he'd kill it. Playing down big short sides.
Where would you play Blaze Talangi?
The thing is with Doueihi, you can play centre, you can cover fullback. He's a fucking great club player.
Does he take someone's spot in the starting lineup? That's the question, isn't it?
I think he'd kill it with. I honestly think he'd kill it with Nathan. He's a big ball running 6. I don't know. I got a big rap on him, mate.
Takes the back seat.
Oh yeah, everyone's got a rap on him. That's why obviously clubs are trying to fit him in. Interesting to see.
That field goal he kicked was like, obviously credit to him, but it was a disgusting setup last week, wasn't it?
You're not a fan of him, Gabe?
No,
you keep trying to find reasons not to sign him.
I'm saying how good he was. I'm saying the ball they gave him last week was terrible for him to knock over. The Tigers had no idea. It seemed like they didn't even know they were going to go for a field goal. Next game we got here, another Saturday game at Polytech Stadium in Gosford. We got the Rabbitohs coming up against the Sharks. Outs Jamie Humphries and Kaloa Matangi for the Rabbitohs. Jai Gray returns. Shaq Mitt returns. That's mostly it. And then outs for the Sharks is Britton Nakora And Jesse Ramian returns for the Sharks.
I'm going to go the Sharkies. I think Sharkies will be too strong for them. South, obviously, Lewis Dodd will get his first crack at number 7, so I'll be actually interested to sit down and watch this one to see how he goes and see what the fuss was all about. Obviously, he's been really good over in the Super League. Hasn't had much of an opportunity since he's been in Australia, but welcome to the starting lineup for Lewis Dodd. I hope he goes well and can hold his spot for the back end of the year, because it's obviously would have been a tough year for him, but he does get his opportunity, so well done for sticking it out. And a lot of players would have jumped back on the plane and went home. I know we have a laugh about it sometimes, but I hope he does well. But I think it'll be a tough task coming up against the Sharkies. Same thing. Sharks are looking to get wins. They need to get wins to stay in the group of the top 8. And I just think the Sharks will get the job done. I think the same thing will be tied early, but once the groove of the game starts to flow, Sharkies run on with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cronulla will be too good. Been good the last few weeks. Last couple of weeks, Cronulla. Nakora's a big out for him. He's been outstanding. I love him as a player. Is he eligible for Origin?
Kiwi.
Kiwi, yeah. But New South Wales? No. Queensland?
Kiwi.
Okay. There's plenty of Kiwis playing for New South Wales, my friend.
Yeah, no, but he's pledged his allegiance. Plays for the Kiwis every year.
There you go. I should have done my homework then. But he's...
What about you go? Origin. No, he's a Kiwi. New South Wales.
No, he's a...
Nah. Queensland. Nah. He plays for the Kiwis.
We got that clear. That's all I was after.
Yeah.
Finally got clarity. So anyone out there confused like me, he's playing for the Kiwis.
Let's not talk about Origin anyway. It's a touchy subject.
Yeah, I know.
My room's bugged.
But yeah, anyway, he's a big out. But yeah, Cronulla, I just think they'll be too good. Souths are in a hole. Injuries have just absolutely pizzled them this year. You just said again, Humphries is out. Yeah, as you said, Lewis Dodd. All the best, mate. Hopefully you have a blinder. It's been a long time on the sidelines. Must have been a tough year for the boy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. It's a great team to hang around, because a lot of blokes would have jumped back on the plane and go, I'll take the comfort road back home and go play starting 7 Super League week in, week out. But he's persistent and he's there. So well done.
Yeah, so I can't see where South can get the win. And Cronulla, they've got a lot to play for more than South, in all respect. South aren't going to probably see themselves in finals this year, and Cronulla are going after that top 6. So Sharkies all day.
Yep.
Bit of pressure on the Sharks just going before I finish on the Sharks. I mean, they've been a team that's over the last 10 years or 8 years, sort of thereabouts. Fitzy's taken over, done a huge job with them, but they've fallen short. Halves cop punishment every year. They can't get the job done. Big pressure on them again this back end of the year.
Yeah. There is.
Just
There's
for a lot of
always
reasons.
pressure on the,
A lot of
There's lots of
reasons.
reasons.
But it's sort of gone quiet because it's that sort of,
Well, they
not
play
that
finals
close
and
to
then
seeing-
fall out, don't they?
So, and everyone's expecting this year to be different. I'm pretty sure that talk's going to sort of start to heat up again soon about them and whether they can do it again. And they've sort of got to do something effective in the final series this year, I think. I don't know what they'll change, but they need to find an edge this year. It's time.
Our next game on Sunday, GIO Stadium, Raiders coming up against the Knights. The only real change I can see here is Simi Sasangi moving into starting centre with Sebi Chris being out.
Raiders.
They only just played the Knights, didn't they? 3 weeks ago or
Only the
something.
other week, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Raiders, tough task to go down to Canberra on a Sunday afternoon. It'd be freezing cold. Where their season's at for Newcastle, I think it'd be a tough challenge. The Raiders will be up for it. I know what Ricky will be like. He'll be having them seeing red, just telling them not to not to sort of whimper off just because they're playing the Knights. He'll have them ready to go. They've got so much to play for. Obviously, the minor premiership is there still up for grabs. They're sitting at the top of the ladder, nice and pretty at the moment. But a loss would hurt that, so I'm sure you'll have them keyed up and ready to go. And I think the way they're going, if they have an off day, I think they still beat Newcastle.
Yeah, I agree with Toddy. I think Canberra just doing everything right. Newcastle are just where Newcastle's at for this year, unfortunately. In the fight last week again, but just falling short. And Canberra, I think, Canberra's, as we say every week, outside backs, middles, offloads. They're just in absolute full flow. They're the best team in the comp at scoring from yardage alongside the Dolphins and Melbourne. I think statistically I haven't looked, but going off watching, they're the three teams that can attack you from anywhere, aren't they? Melbourne, Dolphins, Canberra. The amount of tries they score from midfield, Dolphins especially, but Canberra, just with the speed of the outside backs, they're actually very similar. Their style of footy, I feel, is very similar to the Dolphins. If you said to me the most comparable teams in the comp, I think Dolphins and Canberra are similar in a lot of ways. Canberra's defence is better at this point, a bit more experienced, but I think Dolphins and them are two of the most exciting teams to watch.
How do you feel about Gagai playing fullback? Is that how you guys would run it? They got Fletcher Hunt playing in the centres. Obviously, he had a little stint at fullback. Do you think Dane is their best option back there?
Oh, I think he's the safest option. They know what they'll get out of him. I think it's not a lucky dip putting Hunt there, but I think they know what they'll get out of Gagai. He's safe. He has a crack. So I think with what they've got, I think it's okay.
All right, last game. Bulldogs versus Manly Seagulls at Allianz Stadium. Ins for the Dogs. Bronson Cherry returns. That's pretty much it. Hamole returns for Manly as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go Manly. Who's the favourite?
I'll double check, but I'd say it'd be the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs have to be favourites.
The favourites for this game is, Bulldogs.
Listen to the man speak. I said, you want to see conservative? Flip my cheddar to Manly now, please.
Perfect.
What's the cheddar? What's the
I like
cheddar
you
score?
in risk-taking moments, in risk-taking mood. I like that, Todd Carney. The risk-taker.
Cheddar score update is, I might start doing these at the top of the show, is Mitch leading by 2.16, Toddy on 14.
Undisputed, baby.
The season's not done, dickhead.
Undisputed after round 20.
Round 21, you idiot.
Round 21. I think it's a good shout. I think the way they played last week, that was probably Luke Brooks' best game I've seen in years. And just the flow of their team. You could actually add Manly to that midfield team when they're playing their best footy. You could actually add them to the Canberras and Dolphins and Melbourne about their ability to play from anywhere. Geez, they play good footy. When Cherry's on and Brooksy's on. I can see them pulling the pants down to the Dogs. I mean, Dogs played well last week. Shout out to Galvin. He played awesome. We didn't do much of the review show, but obviously got the try and the assist. But if you watch the game closely, it wasn't clinical the whole match.
Right.
It wasn't clinical the whole match. And they're always going to get some teething problems, but I still think there's a team there that Manly can pounce on if they play the best footy they can. If they complete high, if Manly complete high and their forwards aim up, Travojevic, Bullymore, Takiaho last week, they're fucking good. They're in a good spot on the ladder. We kept saying it. I was so surprised until 3 weeks ago when we kept saying everyone was writing Manly off, and then boom, top 6.
Yeah. That seems like a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Round 21 preview done and dusted. It's been a great week. Obviously, we missed you, but we did drop a banger with Kevy, so we are sorry again, but we will be back and better next week. Have a great weekend of footy. And to the footy nerds, we love yous.
Love you, footy nerds. Keep building.